guardian angels powerless as suddenly Christmas is cancelled for millions, and today was made the last shopping day of Advent by government. It was exactly what this man didn't want to have to do.
We must, I'm afraid, look again at Christmas. And as Prime Minister, it's my duty to take difficult decisions, to do what is right to protect the people of this country. We will introduce new restrictions in the most affected areas, specifically those parts of London, the South East and the East of England, which are currently in Tier 3. These areas will enter a new Tier 4, which will be broadly equivalent to the national restrictions which were in place in England in November. That means residents in those areas must stay at home, apart from limited exemptions set out in law. Non-essential retail, indoor gyms and leisure facilities and personal care services must close. People must work from home if they can, but may travel to work if this is not possible, for example, in the construction and manufacturing sectors. People should not enter or leave Tier 4 areas, and Tier 4 residents must not stay overnight away from home. In England, those living in Tier 4 areas should not mix with anyone outside their own household at Christmas, though support bubbles will remain in place for those at particular risk of loneliness or isolation. Across the rest of the country, the Christmas rules allowing up to 3 households to meet will now be limited to Christmas Day only, rather than the 5 days as previously set out. I know how disappointing this will be. I know how much emotion people invest in this time of year and how important it is, for instance, for grandparents to see their grandchildren, for families to be together. When the science changes, we must change our response. And when the virus changes its method of attack, we must change our method of defence. And as your Prime Minister, I sincerely believe there is no alternative open to me. Without action, the evidence suggests that infections would soar, hospitals would become overwhelmed, and many thousands more would lose their lives.
He only found out about a new strain sweeping the south and east last weekend, 1 week later, and it has forced a complete rewrite of coronavirus policy.
It seems that the spread is now being driven by the new variant of the virus. There's no evidence that it causes more severe illness or higher mortality, but it does appear to be passed on significantly more easily. Although there's considerable uncertainty, it may be up to 70% more transmissible than the old variant, the original version of the disease.
This is causing the virus to accelerate transmission across the south and east of England.
In the southeast, 43% of the virus is now this new variant. In the east of England, it's 59%, and in London, 62%. The numbers may vary slightly, but those numbers are broadly right. And those have gone up very, very fast over the last few weeks.
Viruses mutate all the time, but the new variant contains 23 different changes, many of them associated with changes in the protein that the virus makes. This is an unusually large number of variants. It's also got variants in areas of the virus that are known to be associated with how the virus binds to cells and enters cells. So there are some changes which cause concern in terms of how the virus looks.
The government is just starting to work out the full impact.
This decision will be upsetting for millions of people. So could you just speak directly to everyone suddenly now spending Christmas Day alone? What hope can you give them?
I suppose the message is, that this is the year to lift a glass to those who aren't there, in the knowledge that it's precisely because they aren't there to celebrate Christmas with you this year that we all have a better chance that they'll be there next year to celebrate Christmas with you. I suppose that would be my message, Sam, to the country.
Is the new strain impervious to social distancing measures? Might the 2-metre rule and existing face coverings no longer be enough to protect people?
We do not think that the current measures will not work against this, but we're going to have to do a lot more in a sense, to stand still. It's like you were cycling up a steep hill and now you've got the wind against you as well. You just have to do that much more to actually keep going.
We, of course, bitterly regret the changes that are necessary, but alas, when the facts change, you have to change your approach.
You could tell from Boris Johnson's demeanour that he knows just how badly this will go down with the country. He didn't try and empathise with the nation or articulate its distress. He just looked wounded and winded at a decision he's tried so long to fight. But now he needs the country to comply with his instructions.
The lights of the capital still sparkle, but the joy beneath isn't there tonight. Sam Coates, Sky News.